Hi, Jack Appleman here. Let's talk about mastering email communication. Today, the communication landscape has really changed. We have text messages, we have Slack messages, we have Google Chat, Zoom Workspace, and probably a lot more. But with all this, you know what? Email is still number one. It's still the number one business communication tool. So let's make sure we get it right. Today, we'll talk about 3 steps. Number 1, be explicit and complete. Number 2, tap the power of subject lines. And number 3, be efficient and professional. What do I mean by being explicit and complete? Well, let's say that you're sending a recommendation to a client. So you say, we should meet about revising the social media program to generate more leads from your website. Client replies, is there a particular area we need to improve? The total number of site visits is down significantly. How much is it down? Website visits dropped 18% from 11,050 in April to 9,060 in May. What should this number be to create more leads? We should average 12,000 plus visits a month. This was back and forth emails, 7 back and forth emails. Who knows how long this took? There's a better way. You want to be explicit the first time around. So instead you say, we should meet about revising the social media plan to generate more leads from your website. Website visits dropped 18% from 11,050 in April to 9,060 in May. Create a steady flow of qualified leads. You should average 12,000 plus leads a month. That's how much you need to create a steady flow of qualified leads. So you've given all the information to the client up front. Client replies, thanks for the update. Let's meet next Tuesday at 2. So again, be explicit the first time around. The same thing goes if you are replying. Let's say you get this email from a colleague. I'd like you to schedule a team meeting for the week of September 9th to review Q2 earned media for our brands. Let me know if you need additional stats from this period and if you can email the agenda by August 30th. So you reply, okay, I'll see what I can do. Well, what does that mean? Are you going to do the agenda? Do you need any additional information? You're not telling the reader much here. Let's try again. Same email from the colleague, but this time you say, thanks for the heads up. Please send the stats on the June and July social media mentions by August 23rd, and I'll get you the agenda by August 30th. You told the reader what you need and when you need it by, and that you will get the agenda on time. Frame before you explain. We're talking about giving the reader context. If I say, for example, we should use these steps to promote our vision: Slack messages, internet posts, small group webinars. Reader's thinking, well, wait a second, why do we need to do this? So let's give some context. 3 months ago, senior leaders decided that they needed to know how many employees understand our vision, as they sensed the number was far lower than desired. This prompted them to launch a survey. The results confirmed their suspicions, revealing that 65% of the staff didn't understand our vision. Based on this data, we should explain our vision with these steps. And we give the steps. Do we need to tell them that much? They decided to do this, they sensed this, they confirmed their suspicion. We don't need all that. So what's the happy medium? It's what I call fast context. Given this survey revealing that 65% of the staff doesn't understand our vision, I recommend these steps. So you give that context as quickly as you can, then you move on to, in this case, the next steps. Step 2 is to tap the power of subject lines. You can shape your message in the subject line. You can set the tone. You can persuade, and you can drive action. Yeah, you can set the tone. For example, to a colleague, and maybe you had made a mistake, and you say, misled you with Q2 stats, can talk to clarify. So you're explaining how I made a mistake, I misled you, and let's talk so we can clarify. Again, you're setting the tone, setting a nice, friendly, productive tone. You could also persuade. Let's say writing to an executive about their speech and you feel it needs to be changed. So you might say, new speech opening, engage employees faster. So you're trying to persuade the executive that, hey, we need to change your opening so employees get engaged faster. You drive action with specifics. Instead of saying something like this, recent media request for XY, say, 3 XY media requests, prep call by September 1st. Again, you're giving these specifics that the reader needs to know, drive action faster. Don't be a lazy subject liner. Take an example. So Maria emailed Ed about the Q1 media outreach on April 3rd. Subject line, need Q1 impressions report. So you know how it is when you haven't corresponded with somebody and you want to send them an email, so you look at the last time they emailed you and just reply? Well, not always a good idea. This is what Ed did. He needed to email Maria about the Q3 earned traffic months later, October 5th. But he was too lazy to change the subject line. So Maria's thinking, what does Ed want with the Q1 impressions report? So again, change the subject line. You'll help clue the reader in and get the reader to respond to what you need. Try 2 topic subject lines. You have to send 2 emails to the same person. Maybe try sending 1 email with a 2 topic subject line. Like this: Town Hall, September 8th, CFO wants new budget. 2 unrelated topics, but you separate them with a vertical line and you clue the reader in that there's 2 different messages in this email. Another example, cut CEO talk to 12 minutes, team meeting October 2nd. Step 3 is to be efficient and professional. To be efficient, know your reader's preferences. For example, if your supervisor sends you an email, please complete this report by a date end of next week. Do you need to acknowledge and say, I got it, or I'm working on it right away? Maybe your boss would rather that you not respond until you have the report complete. Again, ask your boss. Lose the trivial acknowledgments. You don't need to thank a colleague who you see all the time, everything they send you, thank you, I appreciate it. It's not necessary. And you're not being rude. You're giving them a break on their inbox, because a lot of time is wasted going through trivial thank yous, trivial emails. And don't always email. Sometimes you should pick up the phone. You want to schedule a meeting. 5 minutes, get the time scheduled. Then one of the parties says, confirming our meeting September 8th, 2:30 p.m. So again, don't always email. Follow proper email etiquette. Don't cheat on grammar or punctuation. Use salutations and closings, particularly when you're emailing a supervisor, an executive, a client. Say, start out, dear so-and-so, even hi so-and-so at the end, best, or sincerely. Avoid all caps except the headings, because as you probably know, all caps means you are shouting. Spell out acronyms unless you're absolutely sure the reader knows what it means. Better to spell it out. Use discretion with emojis. Nowadays, a lot of business people use emojis. If your client sends you an email with an emoji, then yes, you can reply with an emoji, send them another email with an emoji. Otherwise, I would stay away from emojis. You can get your message across without them. So there you have it, the steps to mastering email communication. Be explicit and complete. Tap the power of subject lines and be efficient and professional. So happy emailing, everyone, and may you be more efficient with your emails so you can focus on productive work.